or Rio Presa, it is a medium-sized dog. Um, it is between male and female. It is 88 pounds to 110. That's when they have ability, they have movement, and you take more out of them in that weight. I tried 123 and a half, and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I stay in that range, and that's what should be a working dog. Is you look the police. The police doesn't have no one, or the military. They don't have nothing 140, 190. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was listening to this guy, uh, a dog trainer. He say you should never buy a dog that you cannot pick him up yourself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it made sense to me.
At this point, what is the biggest challenge in preserving the traditional pressa?
Oh, it's very challenging. I breathe only inside. I don't go out, and the reason why I don't bring nothing from the outside or breathe from other breeders is because it's a lot of corruption. It's a lot of mixing going on to make this dog bigger, and no temperament, no character, no guard instinct. It's only about how big they can get, and that's it. No goal. And to me, I'm looking for the standard. The temperament have to be there. That's my first thing. Temperament, character, and the guard instinct have to, and it has to be natural. That's what I don't train. I test. I'm talking about testing. Testing. What I decide. Testing and not training. You train. You can train anything, but when you train, you don't know what is genetic or what is being trained. Teach. You know what I mean? So I decide not to train and test. When I see the dog ready, I get somebody who do agitation. I don't use decoys or helpers. Helpers, I'm sorry. Helpers is for sport, and decoy is for sport too. Uh, I use agitator. My dogs have to face an enemy, no play with the enemy.
Could you talk about the traditional pressa? What was it originated for, and what are they using it to this day still in the Canary Islands?
It should be used for guarding. It can be used for hunting, but it was no, it was not created for that, because in the island there's nothing to hunt for them. There's no wild pig and things like that, heavy hunting. But they use it in Spain, in the mainland, in the peninsula. The beginning, some people, and probably to this day, there are still people hunting with them in the mainland. Uh, but a main goal for the presa was to herding and guarding, and fighting. They used to fight in that, and to this day, they're still fighting them. That's a tradition in Canary Island.
And what is a guard dog to you? What is a protection dog? What does that mean to you?
Oh, to me, something he come natural. He an animal who is territorial, naturally territorial, and doesn't let any stranger pass to his territory. A warning first, and if the person keep going, a bite. And when these dog bite, they bite for real.
Were they used to guard the flock? Uh, Farm.
Really, in Canary Island, they don't have no wolf. Really, was to help the farmer. to bring in the animals to go to pasture. Actually, because of the majorero. Majorero is on these dogs. uh, Perro de ganado majorero is a dog, and people say Bardino majorero, but that's wrong to call them because Bardino is a color. It's no. I just want to say that because many people confuse Bardino as the name of the dog. The dog is that's the color. It's mean brindle. Uh, Perro de ganado majorero is a dog they used to use uh, to get to move goat to one side to another and to keep the flock together or bring it back because they let them loose. The ones they don't have too much milk, they let them go into the wild. And when it was time to find the newborns to see if they're milk producer, they send the dogs to help them. And that's what the presa have in their blood, that dog. And he's a shepherd. And he guard too, as well. And that's what this dog presa have that, and the hair they still carry of that hair. The ones who got no every presa the people call have majorero on it. The hair is different on a presa when it carry of that blood, and also some of the head is different as well, and tails.
What part of the world is breeding traditional presses?
I
Are
know
they,
many people are putting a lot of dogs, a lot of breeds. Uh, to be honest with you, though, right now, it's the demand, the demand for big dogs, and that's what destroy all breeds. If you look at a Corso at the beginning, there was not that big like today. Yeah, and it happened to the present. You look all these breeds like Great Dane, when the police used to use, and there was not that huge as today. And those big size bring problem health problems like dysplasia and other things. And it's the demand is destroyed the breed. This breed is now being recognized all over the world, and people want it. They hear stories and they want the dog. They don't do a research, and they pay the price because the dog it will be a big dog, but it will not guard. It will not have the instinct, and they will have a lot of health problems as well. And that's what been going on with a lot of breeds today. People cannot respect the breed. I don't mind people mix dogs if they wanted to, but if you mix something, just tell the people. There are some people who bring breed band dogs, but they say they're band dogs, and I don't ride with it. But when you say I have a presa, but you mix with something else and something else, that's a scam right there. You know what I mean? That person is paying you for a pure dog, and if his mix is no longer pure, and that's a fraud. And it's a lot of fraud in not only in presa, in pretty much every breed right now.
what would you say to somebody who was looking to get into presses? What advice would you give them to weigh through a lot of the the scams?
Or to do research, and if I tell people I can help them, uh, but they need to learn how to read pedigrees and learn how to, if they want certain thing, it's like when I get into something, I learn as much as I can. And if that person doesn't know how to read pedigree, that's a problem right there. Uh, but I always search the pedigree and I look the dog, and I learn as much of every individual in that pedigree because I'm looking for certain traits. Without those traits, the dog is not what I'm looking for. If I'm going into greyhounds, I'm looking for speed. I'm looking for a race dog or a hunting dog. Cause they still can hunt. Rabbit. I need something very fast to I can get rabbits. So I need to search who in the family has been doing that, so I can get I can make sure that my dog I can hunt. So that people say, oh, the pedigrees, they're you the pedigrees they're good as long as they're no hanging papers, and you need to learn as much you can. And if you don't, that's when people take advantage. When somebody a red flag, when somebody sell you a puppy and doesn't know the history of the dog, it doesn't have anything to back it up the story of the dog, that's a red flag right there. You know what I mean?
What are some of the signs that you would tell somebody that so they don't get scammed? What are some of the things
Okay.
that are going on today?
Impresa, Impresa is a guard dog. Uh, so you need to go and asking if the guy, let's see, somebody from Alaska wanna buy me a dog, for example, and if he come to me, and assume he looking for a guard dog, because that's what this breed is for. And actually, the fighting intent have to be there. That doesn't mean I agree with dog fighting or anything, but like in Alaska, they have a lot of wild animals. The dog might have to protect the owner. It's not only the humans that are aggressive, the animals. So you have to show at least videos of your dogs, not one, many of them, as many you can, doing that means you have consistency in guarding and hunting. No everybody do hunting, uh but that's okay, that part. But when we're talking about Presa, the main reason people have it is as a companion guard dog. So these people have to show something, and people, they get too attached to the puppy, a beautiful picture of the puppy. All puppies, they're cute and pretty. You need to see the parents, what the parents they are. Is the person only have the parent? In here, I have the puppies, the parents, the grandparents, the great grandparents that I've been passing one after another. It's a line what I building, and that's very important. When you build a line, you build consistency. If you start of breeding a lot, you don't know where you're getting from the genes from everybody. I know everybody test dogs. Nobody do. Pretty much only take it to the show and that's it. A show that doesn't gonna help you at all. You have to look the family tree. What that guy have, the breeder have. He have a mother and the father, and they are not tested. Yes, that's a red flag right there. And where he get the dogs, and he DNA. I DNA now my dogs. Uh, I did it well. The first one I did it with Royal Canin, but I didn't like they don't have the coefficient of inbreeding, and that's it too. The Embar does. So when you go to my site and all the dogs that are being tested on Embar, they show they are related. Like I promise, I say I have a line, and that's how I prove I have a line. Everybody is related somehow with each other. And nowadays, everybody who I claim, that's another thing. Everybody claim they have a line. A line with inbreeding and line breeding is not a line. And everybody's saying, because I breed this female, I keep it, I bring a male from the outside, I breed it to that female. I keep another female or a male, whatever, and I keep doing breeding something from this. I keep a puppy. That's not a lie. That's cattle breeding. And how you're gonna have consistency? You're breeding stuff from all over the world or all over the place. You don't know what those parents were. And many people they are not test their dog. And it's the they do some of them they do sport. This dog, Presa, it wasn't meant to be a sport dog. For
Mm-hmm.
that, we got the Belgian Malinois and the German Shepherd. They are good in that. Presa is a protection dog. It's for the to be. That's what I say for the lazy people, or the people who work hard and those they are not rich. This dog, you train a dog with these people. First of all, you don't get no guarantee because the decoy it will teach you. It will teach the dog how to bite the sleeve, and he will be his friend, his playing buddy. How that benefit my dog is I have somebody attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't benefit at all. In here, that's what I call agitators. Agitator, they come in here to have a war with my dog, not to be friendly. That's very different. And I can see from the beginning where my dogs stand. And and then I keep first I do a little agitation stuff. The people who come in here they know what to do and they know what I want. Uh, and you test them if they are ready before than a year. It's not some of these dogs they are not ready. Some of them they are ready early. Some of them take a little while. I told people to be patient, and every time the dog for me, it is word for guarding and protection. It has to bark. It has to be suspicious. If the dog is not suspicious, that's a dog you cannot count on. Because if the dog he see everything is a friend, that's not good for protection or guarding, in my opinion. They have to have that suspicious level, and that's what I breed in here. So dogs they're very suspicious when they don't they see something is out of place, see somebody is new, they start to barking even from puppies, and that's a good guard dog right there because he's alerting you. It's let you know there's something out of place in here. There's somebody who's no and that little bark from their puppy when they grow up that became a bite, and that's the dogs that I'm looking for. It sounds kind of like but we live in a world there is no we live in a world that is not friendly anymore, and probably never was either. So we
Right.
got people who like us and we got people who doesn't like us, and that's life. And uh and that's what we got the dogs. I don't want actually I have using my dogs time to time, and they will be very effective, but I really don't like it. And the dogs that I got now, they're in another level. And since I breathing into that line, these dogs they're more into war. People who cannot handle those dogs, I suggesting never test them. If they have people who got my dogs, and I know how my dog can get, so I tell them not to test them. And when the time comes, the dog will know. Well, and another thing you have when you have a dog, that this kind of dog, and you want them to protect it, you have to bond with them. You don't going to put a in tied up on the tree and for only feed them and leave them. You want a protection dog. You have to bond with the dog. And I never, and I tell everybody, never touch that dog. Be firm with my dogs, but don't hit it. It's a marriage. You don't hit your wife. You know what I mean? And that create a bond. But the dog have to be respect. And these dogs they're very respectful. To be honest, you don't have to never come to. And when it's one, it's more easy than have 10. They're pretty quiet unless they see something out of place. That's when they bark. But they're very good. They're very good. They're very loyal. If you know how to handle, you got the best dog you ever own, in my opinion.
Going back to the problem of mixing,
Mm.
what do you think some of the issues are? Is it just that there isn't enough, besides size? Is it there's just not enough bloodlines out there, and they're trying to fulfill a demand, or is it something else?
It's always it's the exotic factor, the wow factor. Every breeder wants to uh, he wants to sell. So they have to be a wow factor. Like they get a puppy from a blue puppy. To people outside, that's exotic. That's a wow factor. How you get to that? Breeding them with a cane corso, blue cane corso, or a blue Neapolitan Mastiff. You get the size and the color. And people saying, "Oh, I get this." I never get. I do line breeding and inbreeding. Inbreeding, I don't do much. Much of what I do is line breeding. Uh, and I never get nothing exotic, nothing out of place. But these people breeding and get even white dogs with dogs like dog Argentino, and that's because he have in the blood that. And Presa don't, to me, crossing with dog Argentino doesn't bring nothing to Presa and neither to it doesn't make sense to me. Breeding with Bully Kuta doesn't make sense to me. If I want a Bully Kuta, I should buy one. Not get half of this or half of that. You follow me? And it's not only that; it's the price they put on those dogs. Because there are some people who sell very good band dogs, and they don't have to tell them, oh, people lying to people, oh, they're full blood. No, they sell them very good, saying what they are, and people, there is a market for that. But when we're talking about Rottweiler, Doberman, Presa Canario, Cane Corso, it should be a purebred. When you buy a Cane Corso, when people ask me how big it's gonna get, I want a dog from you, but I want a dog who weight 145, 150. I say, go buy a Cane Corso, buy another breed. It is that in the standard. Don't bring a stuff they are not in the standard in here, because I'm not going to or mix anything just to satisfy your needs. There is there is nothing for you in here. I just tell them just like it is. And now the racer they are more corrupted than ever. Now in UK already FCI they increased the already was increased the standard, but UKC used to keep the old standard, and now it's open. And I talked to them, and they was uh, they I want to have a hearing, and they say I can have a hearing with them, but they never let me never let me talk with them. They ignore me, and I tell them you put more mutts into your registry, and that's not cool. Registry is for pure breed, not for mutts. And these racers they don't care anymore. I remember when I started with dogs, I have to take picture of my own dogs to register them 3 pictures. They required 3 pictures, and they that was go into they archive that they save it into your file. Nowadays they don't care. It is corruption everywhere, and that's how we losing breeds. And these people who like to make band dogs, they need purebred to keep going their breeding. Without purebred, band dog will die. You know what I'm trying to go into.
Yes.
Without them, now these people when they need to make good band dogs, oh let me make it with this Presa, this Rottweiler. They put it together and nothing happened because that dog, both of them, they are mixed already. And to have a good band dog, you have to use a pure dog in one side and a pure in the other and put it together. And that's how they do it. They do it for 2 generations. After 2 generations, yes. And they go back to the same source. That's how they make the good band dogs. When they need it, because a band dog is a working dog. Nowadays, a lot of people talking about band dog and band dog and band dog, but what they do nothing. So that's not a band dog. That's a pretty mutt to me. Because band dog it is a working dog. It's a mixed working dog.
Mm.
But now I see a lot of people who make band dogs, but you don't see what they're doing. They put together 2 dogs and that's it. And there's a lot of people complaining about that. I know on groups of band dog and I hear everything they say, everything they talk. The answer your question?
Yes. Why do you think they're still trying to get away with it when DNA is out there? What's the motivation here?
Oh, some people they know. Oh my God, people. First of all, they fool you with some dogs, so they do the saliva. Another, I hear. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one, but I hear if you got in Embar, if you got pedigrees, you show them the pedigree, and they switch from mixed dog to pure dog. I hear that. I'm not sure because I never tried. But what happened? These same people who are doing that, they claim they have a line. A line. I put on my page. A line. All the dogs. It doesn't matter who I'm bred. I bred my first generation with my sir, any cousin, uncle, and niece, this and that. When you DNA, you have one of my dogs. You DNA. I will get I will get an alert in my page, in my email, and he will get another one, and it will say you have a family. There is a dog is related to your dog, and when you look in in my page, all they are very related, very high. From even half using half of my dog, it go from 35, I think, to 51 in relationship. That's very high. And that's how the way you can cut them. You can get to back to them. But these people they fall in love with the puppy and they know, and they're gonna get mad and they're gonna go to the breeder, but they're gonna feel in love with the puppy and they forget about that. And that's how people get into this problem. They don't follow through. Let me tell you, if I buy a dog from somebody and he showing the DNA, there is no pure, I return the puppy. As simple as that. It will not play with my emotion. But much of these dogs they come mixed breed. They people keeping and they breed them. In the circle, the bad circle going on and on and on and on. I got a bunch of that I see online on groups. This dog, it was sold as a pure. It became, oh my God, I see a dog, and it was sold very very expensive. I seen for 4,500, kind of in that price, or even who knows, probably more. He became with more than 8 breeds on that dog. Let me tell you, somebody get me with that stuff. I know who is a bad breed and who is okay, but I will not get into that game. I will return the dog and I want my money back. That's what I will do. But not everybody will. They put the feelings first. I'm not putting feelings with my dogs, especially if I didn't breed that dog. I will return it. It's like you buying a Lamborghini, and when you open the hood, you find out that you have a Kia engine. You will return that car. Everybody will, but when we're talking about dogs, emotion come to a play, and it should not be like that. These people have to pay, and nobody's doing anything. Everybody say, "Oh, we'll do this," and nothing's done.
What are some of the telltale signs of when you see a pressa that it isn't a pure pressa, and what does a pure pressa look like?
Oh my God! Sometimes I cannot from the picture itself. I don't even have to see the dog itself, and I notice that something is wrong. And but when I see it in person, I look the hair, I touch the hair, I look the lips, how they are, eyes, muscle. There is no a perfect dog. There is no perfect dog. But when you have a lot of faults in one dog, that means it's something wrong with it. And plus, I look the pedigree and I look at it. Uh, I get my last 4 dogs that I buy, and it took me 5 years just to buy 4 dogs. 5 years, and it was because I was very careful. I knew what I want, and I have to have it. And I look pedigrees and I look the dog itself or the puppies itself. And much of there was puppies. They was all young anyway. And I compare how they look like as a puppy, and and I've been testing from there, and everything come 100%. I mean, I did a good selection. Tail it have to be thick, very thick to the base, and it go in a shape of triangle. The leg, it have to look a cat fit. I like lion fit as well. Remember, we're looking into the standard, but there's no perfection into the. There is no dog who fit in the standard 100%, and we have to take that in consideration. Uh, the proportion of the head is 40 to 60. Uh, and like I say, lips they have to be a little down, a little bit, not too long, because then when they bite, they're gonna get fungi. The down lips, it should not have an UV shape, because that make them drool. And Presa should not drool at all. So I'm looking for all those signs. The hair of the traditional Presa is slightly longer than the show Presa. That they used to call him Dogo Canario, and they should keep that name, to be honest. Uh, what else? I can. The bag it should be slightly higher, but like I say, you cannot go to the standard and pretend that dog is there all 100%, because it's not everybody win a show. Everybody will be a winner. But there are some signs you can tell. And sometimes dogs they have a flat end, but that doesn't mean they are not. Uh, thick bones, but there are some they're more athletic. Especially there was a female I was breeding. She came from a guy who testing his dog a lot. She was looking more athletic, but the other female I have, she was athletic and she was thicker bone. But the DNA for sure, it will tell you where you at. And the pedigree people have problem. Many people don't know how to read pedigrees. They think because he say the pedigree is a presa, it must be a presa. No, there's a lot of hanging paper everywhere, in every breed. When you see, you have to understand in the pedigree and know what you're looking for. Uh, like I look for Barrabas, I was looking for all those old dogs, and I have to look at it. Is there in my pedigree and how this puppy look? If they have some similarities to those old dogs, that's what I was looking for. I knew what I want, but to newcomers, that's the problem. They don't know how to read pedigrees. It's like I was talking with this guy. He say, "Oh, my dog have pedigree." That doesn't mean nothing to me. Where your dog come from? When I see the pedigree, he say my dog is pure, have a pedigree. His dog it wasn't. Two of his little mates they was white dogs. That means it was a crossing, and it was probably with dog Argentino. That thing you have to look for. I know pretty much who is missing or who is not, and I always knew. I always knew. But the DNA today it helped for me to confirm what I was saying before. Before if I look the dog, I don't know. I've been so long, uh, over 33 years. I've been with dogs, so and purebred dog. Then I can see the dog. It is or it's not. And my grandfather used to teach me since I was a kid. Before then, I became a breeder. Used to handle me roosters, and he let me see them, touch them, and I guess that helped me a lot. And he would show me pedigrees of rooster since I was a little kid, and that's how I learned how to interpret pedigrees. But not everybody, for what I see, have that. Especially in Presa, nobody can read the pedigree today. I got this dog. There was this guy came in here and told me, "Oh, do you know who is this dog?" And I say, "There are many dogs with that name." And I say, "Which one you talking about?" And when he told me that dog, he never did anything. The dog have dysplasia. The dog he was a garbage. But in here, everybody have that dog in the pedigree. Another one, Arbaco. Arbaco wasn't a presa. Arbaco it was from Deer Run. Deer Run, he was breeding band dog, but to sell those band dogs, they used to say they're presa. That's the dogs they supposedly they kill. I think that's the dogs they kill. Diane Whipple. Remember that in California?
Mm-hmm.
That was the kennel. Those dogs they wasn't presa. And then these dogs they're pretty much in everybody's pedigree. And you're looking at that and you say no, that's not a presa. That was made in United States. There's a lot of red flag, and people need to learn how to interpret pedigrees, and they don't. I mean, they can contact me anytime. Many people contact me and tell me, ask me, what you think about this dog? And sometimes they get they say no, I can take it, I can take it. As soon as you tell them the truth, and I explain it why and where in the pedigree that dog it doesn't, it is not. They stop talking to me.
So let's break it down a little bit now. You talked about the fur. What about colors? What
Colors,
the traditional Presa colors?
colors can be black, brindle, fawn in the two shape or in a red shape. They call it lion or red, and fawn arena. That means sandy, like from the beach, sand color. Uh, they can have white, but 20% only. And brindle, they in the standard say blue brindle, but I don't. I stay away from it. Ain't no blue, gray shade. But when you start to getting gray, you can get blue. But you
Mm-hmm.
will not see uh, that color pretty much anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to stay away because gray can turn into blue very easy,
Mm-hmm.
and I would not like to have that. Anyway, I like the temperament. I go the temperament is my main goal, and then the standard. A standard you can fix, you can play around, but when you lose the temperament, you will not get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And the standard you can work little by little. These dogs are they're not perfect, and people change the standard. I go by the standard of the Department of Agriculture in Canary Island, the what people calling the 1989 standard. That's what I go for. That's the standard that I use, and that's what I breed in. I breed from that standard, and I'm very. I know in the perfection, but I'm very close in there. Although the bone structure has to be like a bulldog, big, big pronounced shape. And this dog, if you see these presas, they're floating around. They don't have bone chick structure. They have flat chick. They can be brindle. They can be all the colors in the standard. But when you see the chick bone structure, they have it this new mastiff. I call it. And a presa should have that bone structure. That bone structure is what is helping with that grip, with that bite. Without that, they don't have no bite. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about the facial structure. Is it always a black mask?
Oh yeah, you should have, and that yeah, you got a good point in there. A lot of people losing the mask. They're halfway or on the front like cane corsos or like boil, and that's something that's a red flag right there. I mean, the dog is cross. It's telling you by looking at it. The mask it should be all the way to the eyes. Yeah, it should be there. And I noticed lately, now you mentioned that, I'm glad that you did. Uh, there is no new dogs with that nice mask put it together anymore. It's very rare to find one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's too much crossing right there. The tail it should be very thick to the base, uh, and it going into a triangle, not like a pit bull, thicker. And in a base, if you look at it, when it go kind of at the end, if you have majorero in them, you have traces. The tail will tell you if your dog have majorero on them or no, because it's more, the hair is kind of long, a little longer, and the bone check on the bottom in the thigh, it should be kind of like an inch and a half. The hair should be longer in that
Mhm.
area. And the tail, it should be uh, to the touch the ankle or pass it a little bit. It's okay.
Mhm.
Too short is no good.
Mhm.
Too long is no good either.
And is that a sign of maybe there's some other breeds into it, or?
Probably I have to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, because some tails I see they look like a pit bull,
Mhm.
and but I always look what it makes this breed, and I look because sometimes you can get trace from very far and get it from. So you have to have that in consideration. You have to learn where this dog they were, what the breed it made that this dog. So there was nine breed when I from the beginning, and then they keep adding more breeds. But to me, the breed that should be in there, and the pit bull, to me was adding something that it doesn't need to be added, in my opinion. But according to Courteau, on his first book, it was Pitbull, American Staffordshire, Bull Terrier, Bulldog, and Bulldog. I don't know if you know or know the all the English. Manuel Curto used bulldog, and people in the island. The idea was because the bulldog carrying his blood, the perro de toro in his bloodline. Perro de toro is a dog from Spain. That was to bring it back into the presa, bring something from Spain. The bulldog carrier in them. Okay, bulldog. So perro de tierra. I think it was a Spanish Mastiff.
Mhm.
Uh, then we have the perro de ganado majorero. We got the bull mastiff. Uh, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, Great Dane, or a Neapolitan Mastiff. That's all he has to have. That's it, in my opinion. Yeah, Butter, yeah, they had it, and that's what they have the fighting instinct because the old Bull Terrier they used to fight, and
Mhm.
same with the Bulldog. With those two breeds, they are in the fight. Back in the day, and it's still going on. They used to do pechada. Pechada is what they do is fighting but tied up, but they have actual fight. They make it lose each other lose in a ring, and they fight to each other. But Pechali was the much what they did, and it was the dog holding with a leash, and the other one, and they let him fight with leashes on. Uh, Something that it's no, I don't see any purpose of that. But the dog, and I like the dog have the aggression to other animals because like in here we got panthers, we got snakes, we got a lot of wild animals that it can harm us. And the dog, in my opinion, if you are camping right now, like I hear a dog of mine, he died because he protect me from a rattlesnake. He killed the rattlesnake, and the next day he died. Uh, we got bears around here, panthers, and as panther they are sneaky. Uh, One panther tried to eat one of my dog, and my dog fight back, and the panther run away. So I think that is very important to have, in my opinion. I don't want an animal that only can protect me from human with no all the time humans gonna be danger to us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what I my that's what I liking about them. German Shepherd, they're very good protection dog, but standing with a bear or a panther, I mean, I don't think so, to be honest. And you need something with more power and more mouth. That's how. That's why the panther he run away. Because when he start to feel in the mouth that he was biting very hard, that panther say that's no this don't gonna end good for me and he jump to the woods and disappear. And to this day, I don't see the panther ever again.
Well, that's why I got a livestock guardian dog because
Yeah,
they have the most they have like ingrained instinct. You know, they're a land race, so that not much is messed with them, and they've been doing the same job for centuries. And then
yeah,
if it
yeah.
came
That's
down
what
to a
they have.
fight, they're in my opinion, they're the king of the jungle. They have the best fighting instincts and fighting abilities if they have to, and then they otherwise they just try to bark and scare the prey, whether it be a human or whatever. But if it came down to a fight, they're the most capable. And that to me is how I look at what a guard dog is.
Yeah,
You know, if they're all bite or they're all bark and no bite, then you know what
but it good
they
to you.
serve a
Yeah.
purpose. But at the end, I want the one that if it if it's going to protect, it's going to have the capabilities to do so.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what you need selection breeding. Because imagine all those dogs being mixed with something there don't need it. When something is no break it, don't fix it. And that's my opinion. That's how you keep those traits alive. You start to mixing these good dogs here and there, they will lose those traits. Because you adding other traits the dog never needed.
Mhm.
It's like if you want no if if you want no need a guard dog, don't get a guard dog. You know what I mean? If you don't need a herded dog, don't get one.
Mhm.
But if you need it, get what you need. If you're hunting 24/7 and you don't care about guardian instinct, and some dog Argentino I see have guardian instinct, but the breeding was not meant to be for guarding. It was meant to be for stray hunting. So if you're hunting 24/7, that's a good breed to have, in my opinion. Uh, for the police, if you're police, I mean, perfect breed, Belgian Malinois, there is no comparison to that dog. And
Mhm.
German Shepherd, this it's a team effort. I would not recommend the Belgian Malinois when you are as a personal protection. First of all, uh, police they work as a team. Uh, the dog he stop the person, and all the police got the dog give the holding until the police came in there. So you got 5, 10 police jumping on you. But when to have those dogs to guard a property by themselves, I don't think it's a good idea. I think you need more dog power, like Presa Canario, Cane Corso, a dog like that. There is very territorial, and I think that's the best choice for people, unless you are in a car. Yeah, those dogs in some occasion, Belgian Malinois, I don't take anything from them. They're the Supermans of the dog world. I cannot take that away from them. But there's a dog. for any situation, or there is a dog for everybody. The only thing you need to know where your needs are and get a dog from your needs. Not because you watch it or Rin Tin Tin or dog movie or this and that. Everybody's need, they are different. And as long as you know your need, you search, you or study every breed, and you choose the one that fit your lifetime. I don't have Belgian Malinois in here because I know I don't do it. I know 100 miles an hour person. So having those dogs that need a lot of work, because you cannot sit and watch TV. Those dogs demand work, and if you're no active person, that's no a dog for you. That's what I will say, and that's those dogs there for police, and they should be keeping in much on that or sport. That's what I will say. But if you are a person you like to chill, watch TV at night, and relax, and you are no very active person, Presa Canario also, there's other breeds that can fit that need, and they can still do what you need to. I got a dog. I don't know if you see. I got a dog that I breed. He's very young. I think he's 2 years old. Um, he was herding. He's not far from me. He's herding animals, farm animals. He protect the farm animals. He protect the family. He is a multi-purpose dog, an overall dog, and I'm very happy to see something like that because it meets the standard. And I never have the chance. I don't have goats in here or cows. I only have 1 acre, a little over 1 acre. I cannot have that many animals. But that person who got one of my dogs, she got 100 acres. She got horses, sheep, goats, chicken, everything. And the dog is helping her. And every day, every day she work. That dog working with her, and he's doing very good.
You brought up coefficiency, like in line breeding and in selective
Oh,
inbreeding. What is uh, too much of that? Because I know, like with some breeds, um, when you get too high of a coefficiency, you start bringing in traits that you don't want to have, and it just kind of doubles down on genetic problems. You see it with bulldogs, French bulldogs, and so forth, and you see it with a lot of show lines
yeah,
because once you get winners, they just want to keep repeating
yeah.
that sauce, that recipe, and it ends up creating what the German Shepherd became today. You know what I mean? Instead of, and when is it when is it
In
appropriate to
uh
open up a stud book? Now, uh,
Impresa, I'm the first one to do to what I'm doing. I'm the first. So this is an experiment, but with me that I have the opportunity to make Don Mayfield. My grandfather used to do that. His friends do that. Uh, it so depend on individuals. Empresa and Canet Corso, unfortunately, in many of those breeds outside, everybody say, I got this line, but it's BS. They don't have no line. Lines is when you line breeding and inbreeding. So Impresa, I'm very careful. And what I mean, I'm very careful. I did only one inbreeding so far. Uh, the rest is line breeding, pure line breeding. So in pet bulls that I was, there was no ending. To be honest with you, I met Don Mayfield. He got this dog, Mayfield, Texas, and you see, he's sixth generation, six or five generation, and Rock Crotchner. He keep his when Don Mayfield quit. Rock Crotchner, he started to doing his dog or finishing what he started until he died, and he never end. He never get nothing from the outside. Neither of them. I have a dog, a female. When I started in pitbull, I have a female. It was from Floyd Boudreaux, from his old blood, from Boudreaux Czech. She was like six, seven generation blind Billy, all through it in the whole pedigree, all over, over and over, everywhere, and she was fine. But in Presa, I'm the first one, so far so good. But remember another thing, it is I'm used to this. So I think the way I'm doing it, I don't do it very like a pit bull. I know they probably cannot be done like that. It will not take too long that I can find out deformities, because of health problems, I don't think. Health problems much of the time is bring by other breeds. We got Presa with epilepsy. It was bring by Canet Corsos or boxers. And Canet Corsi doesn't have that problem. But when they start to mix them with boxers, that's when they bring that trait in. And that's the problem. That's another thing that I lock my jar. Because if people think that's their belief. If I got a Neapolitan Mastiff with dysplasia and I breed it uh, with a Canet Corso with epilepsy, they think the those dogs complement each other and everything disappeared. But it's not. Now you have the puppies, they're carriers of two diseases. And that disease, with those dogs, you cannot do line breathing, inbreeding, or nothing. You have to bring blood from the outside all the time to keep those bad genes dormant. And that's not even guaranteed, because even if you keep them dormant, sometimes they can pop up anywhere. Yeah, yeah. The good thing about doing embark is another thing, and we're talking about that. When you wait 2 years, that's another rule I learned from these people or these old timers. Another thing, in pitbull, when the dog is sometimes the first time he's bred is when he finished campaign, and it will be at 7 years old. That's the first time it will be bred after he finished campaign. So the rule in the dogman war is everything after 2 years. So nobody breed puppies. That's another thing. It made the people in another level that nobody see outside, that they don't never see and they don't believe exists, but it exists. In pitbull, you don't see none of this defect. If you find the only thing is this mange is hereditary. It's a genetic mange, but there's few dogs with that. It's not that many. Uh, and that's it. I don't see ever a pit bull with dysplasia, with liver problems. I never see those in my life. But when you go outside, you see all kind of problem, and it's because of the exaggeration of dog breeders and the mixing they're going on. Because if you mix, if you want a mixed dog, that's okay. But make sure that those two dogs that you put in, they're all healthy 100%. And by doing that, you don't have to do tests. In my opinion, you don't have to do tests. If you wait the right time, if you wait until your female and your male mature after 2 years and you testing them, you don't need to test health tests. By looking at the display should show up between, according to my vet, because I see it on video, but I never see a dog in my face, in my with my own eyes, front of me with dysplasia ever in my life. uh According to them, it's between 6 months to 15 months that you start to see the dysplasia showing up on the dog. uh and that's, according to them, is a genetic disease that it can pass on generation to generation. Okay, if you wait to 2 years, you will be able to tell if your dog is limping. You got some problem. Same with epilepsy. You don't need, when you do, I do embark, it show me all that. Epilepsy, dysplasia, everything you can imagine is over. I don't know, it's over 250 or 350 genetic problem, and I get them from Embark, and also all of them they show it with a simple test. And then you will certify if they find something. You go to the vet and certify is he carrier or I mean he's carried and he doesn't gonna show it. The veterinary will tell you. So far I'm clean of anything, and it's been over a decade that I don't get dog from the outside. Everything right now in my yard is all bred by me with nothing from the outside. My yard is locked. I don't bring anything, and so far it's been fine. I guess my grandfather and Don Mayfield should be very proud of me.
If you were to have to go outside of your kennel, where would you go to get a good pressa?
Right now, that's a good question. Right now, I'm very picky. Right now, my God, I don't know. To be honest with you, don't know. Because the thing is, in Canary Island, they believe in breeding. Uh, the dog have majorero, and I put a more majorero. That's going backward to me. That's going back to the band dog. Presa, in my opinion, is a breed, and it should be pure. And there is enough material to work. Uh, and you don't need to bring nothing, no other breed. The breed was established like every other breed. You should close the book and start to breed. When people start to breeding like that, uh, this breed will it will be a better breed. To be honest with you, in any breed, because this is not only a problem in the Presa. What I see is in many breeds right now. I don't know what these people think, because I remember back in the day, every dog, pretty much 99% of Rottweiler that I see, they all have guard instinct. The majority. Same with German Shepherd. Same with Dobermans. Doberman in that time, I see it was kind of getting deteriorated a little bit. But you still back in that time, you still see a lot of Doberman with that aggression, with that instinct of guarding, protecting. But today it's hard to find it, the natural traits. Uh, and that's where people start to mixing and start to experimenting here and there, destroying all those breeds. Uh, I will say it's not broken. Don't fix it. It's simple as that. But people always they want to exaggerate version, and that's when you to me the problem, genetic problem, it comes when you start to exaggerating the dog, because the animal can take so much, and we like to overdo dogs. Uh, uh, and that's not good. Dogs it should have look mother nature. Mother nature. Another thing that I do, it probably help me now that I'm talking about mother nature. When my dogs give birth, they they make a cave, kind of, and they put the babies in there, and I leave it in there as long as they can be. Uh, and that's another thing. I make my dog tougher. Every generation it come more tougher, and instead they coming weaker. My dog coming more stronger and more with more bigger. Uh, and it's probably because I do that. And whatever the mother, I don't take puppies and I put in incubator, start to give him breathing. No, I let nature take its course. That probably helped me a lot. And I learned that from old people. And that's another thing I seen it bring a lot of health problems. Because if you got a puppy, it was meant to be dead, and you surviving. It sounds hard, but you sell that puppy, and the person who gonna spend all that dog is gonna spend a lot of money in vet bills and all that, and the dog it will at the end it will have to be put down anyway. That's another reason I don't have those problems to this day. Uh, I mean, when you exaggerating dogs as well, the dog it doesn't mean to be like that, but we want with no muscle. I mean, how that dog is gonna breathe? We want it with very short leg. I mean, how that dog is God meant? That animal it was meant to be. Uh, that things we like to create things that are not supposed to be created. That's another thing,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Because pit bull can take all the inbreeding, but we don't exaggerate them. Never. Well, it's who is the best, and that's the one who gonna breed. It's the best to the best, and that's the reason. That's what I put. That's my style of breeding, and that's I think I will never fail as long as I keep doing what I know best. That I don't think I have to go. To be honest with you, outside and breed to anything. To be honest, I let the puppy pick me up. Pick me. Puppies. The puppy who I don't interact with them. I mean, I let them out. I play with a ride with them. But I know, like I put it on like a baby and stuff like that. I don't do that. Uh, and I sit and I watching them play, and there's always one who comes to me to check on me, and that's the one that I get.
Hmm.
The puppy who is follow me more than everybody, who is stop playing with the brothers and sisters just to come to me. That's my puppy. That's right there, and I don't pick him or her. That puppy is picking me up. He's picking me, and that's how I do it. And it been work so far, so good.
Hmm.
And I what the other ones what I do, and they work for the other people. Even they don't do the same thing like me, but what I do, I know who is who already. One is more uh, he like to he got more is more hyper. The other one is more calm down. It's more mellow. And then people ask me. I ask him what kind of lifestyle you have, and they say, "Oh, I do camping. I do that. That's the puppy for you. This is
Mhm.
the one I would take." And 99% they do they trust me with that, and to this day I don't fail with that.
Mhm.
I the ones that I cannot keep that I sell, they are in good hands. They're people, they're happy, the dogs, they're happy, and that's the goal, to everybody being happy. That dog that it was is working at that farm, the family wants a bigger dog, and she was telling me she like a dog who she can hide, do hiking and do stuff. She didn't have the farm when she get the puppy, and when they come in here, I put up all the hyper dog puppies, and I say pick the one who get more close to you, get it. uh, and she find one. But all the friends of the family want a bigger puppy that it was from the same litter, but it was apart. And I said that dog is not for you. And they keep wanting that puppy, and she said, "No, I'm gonna keep this one." And the guy told me, her boyfriend told me, "Oh, I want to buy that puppy," and I said, "That's not a good idea to have two male." Uh, And then the next day, a guy came out with a nice car and all that, and I know he didn't have too much time for the dog. And he said, "I want that. That's good for you." And everything always worked fine as long as they listen to me. Uh, people always, "Oh, I want this color, I want this size." But they want a big dog, but they want something that it never gets tired. And big dogs usually they are mellow dogs, and I make sure that's what I ask him. What you want the dog for? You cannot have a giant dog and expecting to be a Belgian Malinois. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to, and I like my dogs. I like, yeah. Well, when it's time to work, it's time to work. But when I'm chilling, I want that dog chilling. Like right now, I got four dogs inside the house, and you don't hear nothing. But those dogs, when they see somebody, those dogs they're no stoppable. They cannot be stopped.
Hmm.
Uh, and that's what I like. I like when it's time to protect, they are in there. But when it's time to chill, and I got one. Oh my God! If I want to hunt with him, I can hunt. The only thing I don't want he because he's one of my the dog that is more protected than anything. That he going into whatever to protect me, and I don't want to hunt with him because I don't want to. I don't think I will change his mind, but I don't want to take one dog that is being very good protecting to do hunting at the same time because I don't want to create that two sides. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I can hunt with him, and few more I can hunt. Uh, and I did a long time ago. I did with that dog that I'm talking about with his great grandmother, and she was good. There is been in that line that I use. There have been few dogs. They're being hunting. So I know the hunting instinct is there.
Hmm.
It is there.
What are some of the biggest mistakes people make when they are training their puppy? Press
Uh,
a puppy.
I mean, if they don't gonna breed the dog, you can teach him anything. But to me, if you're training personal protection, I don't like decoys. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of decoys, and I'm not a fan of helper. It's more a game than a protection. It's more into prey and defense. That's the mistake they do. And I mean, training, you can train your dog obedience, all that is fine and dandy. My dog, some of my dogs, not every dog, I mean, they all listen to me, but I got dogs I say, I have it trained on commands, and no problem with that. But when he talk, when people start to talking about personal protection, no everyone is training personal protection. Police work and personal protection, they are two different venues. Sport and personal protection is way too different. This dog, I'm sorry, this dog, they're on prey. The helper on like in choosing, uh, that's a sport. Uh, those dogs, they have to be okay with everybody. Actually, my brother is competing in that. I mean, he's going to, uh, and he's saying one part they have to grab the nuts of your dog. That ain't gonna happen with my dog. You grab the nut, you're gonna get bit. So, where is the protection in there? You know what I mean? This dog, to me, a guard dog, a personal protection, is a dog who cannot trust any strangers. It has to be on guard 24/7. If you take it to a mall, I mean, everybody who approach you, he has to be on the look, always alert to what is going on around. And everybody start to put in the hand on the dog. To me, that's no a protection dog or a guard dog at all. That means if somebody coming here jumping when I'm not here, he will touch my dog and will call him and play with them and take everything off from my house.
Hmm.
So I stay away from that, and that's what people don't understand from me. I always have agitators, and people confuse because I give my agitator have a sleeve. Yes, I give it something to bite, and but when my agitator, you asking the agitator how that doggy was biting, how the creep it was made into, it was in defense. It was not on prey or play, and that's the difference. And we give the sleeve or the dog trainer give, I mean the agitator. That's what I call an agitator because it come to piss your dog off. So it's not friendly. It's not friendly attack. It's nothing on prey or nothing. It's like make it look as real as we can. The present only that made my dog activated already. Uh, but we don't offer suit a lot. I mean, sleeve. Uh, we do more by hand because the hands there, the dog has to worry about the hands, not the sleeve. The sleeve ain't gonna hurt them, but the hands will. We do much of the thing we do it by hand, and we offer the sleeve just to take that frustration out of them.
Why the Presa? You've done pit bulls and stuff, and
Yeah.
what is it about the Presa that makes you so passionate about the breed and wanting the future to be bright for them?
The thing is, I have so many dogs in my life, And when I was 11, I was a doctor. Used to raise pigeon, and I love pigeons since I was. I always love animals, and I used to sit and he bring those two dogs from Canary Island back in the day, and the female had puppies, and I was sitting watching him every single day flying. Actually, he gave me racing pigeons too, but I was too kid to flying. Uh, and he offered me a puppy, and I get it. And that puppy turned out to be a good dog. But I always, before then, I came back to this time with pit bulls. I mean, with Presa, I wanted Rottweiler because I used to work as a dog trainer, and I used to do decoy and all that crap for a training facility. And the guy used to own Luis Camara was his name. He used to own a lot of Rottweiler, and I see his Rottweiler how they perform. It was my favorite breed, and I still like him. But when I was looking for a dog, I was looking into Rottweiler first, but I don't find anything like I see from this deal that I work for. Uh, and I remember a dog named Duke that I have that doctor gave it to me, and he was natural protector. And I say, oh, Presa, nobody know about this breed. I might have luck to finding what I want. And I start to checking dogs here and there, uh, and looking around. And I came back again to Presa. And since then, I don't stop because if I stop, I might never find what I have again. To be
Mhm.
honest, those dogs that I grew up, Doberman, I used to own Dobermans. All those dogs, if you see it today, they are the shadow of the past. They're not even close to where those breed they was, and that's why I protect this breed the way I do it, because I don't want this get ruined either. Uh, and that's what I take my breeding very serious, and that's what I do. What I do, to be honest. Uh, and but in my first choice it was the Rottweiler, and I didn't find anything, and I say, oh, I will start to thinking. I start to Duke start to come in my mind, and I say, okay, Presa, and let's see somebody here breed Presa, and I find a lot of breeders, but I looking into the pedigrees, and I didn't like them when there was big breeders in here. Big breeders is not the way to go when you're looking for traits. If you're looking for flashy dogs, big breeders will give you that flashy. Uh, they will give you whatever you look size. All of them they do. If you look the if you look into people's they are not that famous, that's when you find good dogs. It's always been like that. To me, rich people, they have garbage, and it's always been like that. Always been like that. When I was into pit bull, the best breeder there was the poor, the people who live in the middle of nowhere with a trailer. That's where you find dogs, good dogs.
Mhm.
Not into rich. Rich is all shows staff, all sick dogs. That's what you find. They are horrible breeders. They always been. And if you can mention me any breed, and if you tell me that guy, if I see the facility, I see a nice facility, that's a bunch of sick dog put it all together. But when you see a dog or a dogman, that's what you find dogman. Or living poor, they everything is about their dogs. It's not about them. They take very good pride in what they produce, and it's always been like that, in my opinion. It's
Hmm.
always been like that. You look into Presa, these people pay a lot of they pay a lot of money into Google to their no to when you uh, search for Presa or whatever breed, they show up at the first 10. That's the people you have to stay away. To be honest, you have to whatever breed people want to get into, they have to learn, and they need to know this. You should not get dog because you see a movie like a dog movie or excuse me, or Rin Tin Tin. No, forget about that. Uh, the dog has to accomplish your needs. And then when you decide, okay, I like this breed, like Presa, I say Presa will be good because I remember I haven't before, so I knew what I was getting into. Don't need to. I did search again because that was when I was 11. Then when I was around 19 to 20, I have a few more, and then from uh, I came back again. I seen 2010, 2011, around there. I came back. Things they're different, so there's new dogs that I need to learn about it. So I went and I studied all the pedigrees that I could study and learn and talk with people. I talk since I speak Spanish, it was easy, but it doesn't matter the language because I could do that with Rottweiler, and Rottweiler, they're German dogs, and I don't speak German, so there's no excuse to find good dogs. I was in pigeon racing, and pigeon racing is born in Belgium. I don't speak no Belgian, but I get good pigeons, and I kick some asses around here with those pigeons. I make a champion bird in one season, and I didn't knew about. I mean, I have racing pigeon before, but I never raced them. Uh, and I learned who the bloodlines that I want to be in, that I have to have, and I start from there. And I suggest everybody, if you need something, a guard dog for real, uh, a strong dog who got they got to stop a man. You need to search for for dogs uh, in your pedigree and know about them as much as you can, as much information you can. That's how you get good dogs. It's like in German Shepherd, like everything you go, uh, you need to learn how to read those pedigrees and understand them. That's my advice to anybody, and it doesn't matter the breed.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter. It's like you going in a horse racing and you search for the winners, for the ones who are producing those winners, and so you can buy horse, so you can compete in the Kentucky Derby. If you start to buying cheaper racing horses, you're never gonna make it to the Kentucky Derby. And that's the same applies to everything. Pigeon racing, guard dogs. It doesn't matter because it's a presa. It will be guard. That's the mentality people have. That's what people ending with a lot of garbage. And same with Rottweiler. People say, "Oh, all Rottweiler guards." In the past, 95% they do what they supposed to. That's right. But today's that number is very low today, and it's because people put four leg with four leg. They don't care about the guard instinct. They don't study bloodline. They just get a dog. Oh, it's a Rottweiler. It must guard. Oh, let me breed it. The dog is a crappy sick dog, and they breed it anyway. And that's how breed get watered down. Selection. You need to find people who select their dog. And I advise it doesn't matter if they like Presa, German Shepherd, whatever, but searching the people who got family of dogs, who line bred those dogs, and they have them for no less than a decade. Uh, No less than that. The more decades, the better. The more they know about their dogs. Right now, I know so well my puppies. When they born, I know what they're gonna pretty much how they're gonna be when they are grown up. And that's when you have a family, you know who is gonna be who in the future. Especially, I'm sorry, especially if you want a guard breed, you have to select from lines. And let me tell you, long time in my time, everything it was no line breed, nobody wants it. Today we are in the opposite side. Everything has to be scatterbred. So that's where the money today it is. Before we used to chop in very smart, and lines there was available everywhere. I was looking into I think it was Dutch Shepherd. No, into Belgian Malinois. And when you go back into their pedigree, there was a lot of line breeding behind. But today, there is not anymore. And those dogs, they make him famous. When you see pet bulls, the same thing, everything. And when everybody back then it was line breeding, there was better dogs, in my opinion. Uh, I don't hear. I knew nothing about back then. I never hear about this pleasure. I I learned about all those genetic problems now. Long time ago, you told me about this pleasure. I would say, what is that? Or you told me about epilepsy. Epilepsy probably I probably knew about it, but it was something that epilepsy. I never see a dog in front of me that I remember with epilepsy in my life,
Hmm.
and I hope not.
Yeah, for sure.
But this genetic problem is a new thing, and it keep piling and piling and piling. And I'm telling you, it's a lot to do because we go against nature. We cannot go against nature. We have to go with nature. When you see lions, the stronger survive, the weaker die. Or everything in the wild is like that. That's what I do in here. People told me, "Oh, but you lose." I don't lose any money. First of all, I would not sell a puppy. I knew it born sick, and I would not want to keep it either. Because I want my dog who protect, who guard my house when I'm not here. And a sick dog, I don't think he will do a very good job.
Mm.
So I rather let him nature take its course. And that's I think I believe that's why I don't have those problems. I never encounter. I don't gonna say I never will. But so far so good. And now we have the two Embar, all these companies who do DNA tests, who tell us uh, if we carry something is wrong, and we can take it to the vet and uh, and certify if they really have it and go from there. But these people, I talk with people and they told me, oh, these breeders told me this dog, look at it. But in 2 or 3 months later, the female is in heat, and that person promised me, swear to God, that she or he then gonna breathe into that dog, and you see puppy from that dog is already messed up. So this is it doesn't gonna have an end, and that's why I log. That's one of the reason I log my jar. I don't want to encounter those things.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to go with somebody, oh my God, I will be so careful. I want to DNA test of the dog. I want to look the dog in my. I want to see in life, in real life, and I want to see every corner of that dog. I want to see the pedigree. I want to see if it was line bred, or inbred, or outcross. If it is outcross, I will not deal with a dog like that
Mm-hmm.
because trace to if you don't have a family behind to keep it those traits, and I learned that from my grandfather and Don Mayfield. Uh, Don Mayfield used to tell me, it was the last time, he used to tell me, Scott O'Brien, you don't gonna have consistency. And I always remember that. Consistency. The word consistency. My grandfather used to use it. Consistency. Consistency when you have too much, many different genes from different dogs. You don't gonna hold the good one. You can get anything. But when you have a lot of good genes from the same family, that's a win-win situation. You got more. Your numbers is getting higher and what you're looking for. When he saw a scatterbrain, it's a lot of different dogs here and there. Even if that dog in front of you is the best dog you ever see, the chances for that dog to pass that to the offspring, they're very slim.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's a dog like that and it's line bred, it is a family of dogs. The chances that you get your offspring to be like him or her, they're almost guaranteed. At least you get at least 50% of them, and that's very good number
Mm-hmm.
than 0 or 1%. I remember that dog. It was sent from Don Mayfield. Uh, it was a cold dog, a cold female. I was asking a friend of mine. I guess sometime I still talking with people who got game dogs, and I asked him because I like to watch stuff from Don Mayfield because that's what is my inspiration. I like to have. He got at the end all the dogs. He got twins of dogs that it happened to me already in Presa. Uh, that never. I don't think somebody achieved that yet in Presa. They have two sets of twins in a litter. I think I am the first one. I think. Uh, Actually, probably am because I'm the only one who's doing this all methods of breeding. Nobody believes anymore. Uh, he Rough Kitchener, he get his dogs well because he's died on 2006. And they sent a female to China. It was a cold female. That female, it was so pure. When they breed it. When you get those dogs so pure and you outcross them, you can get something from the outside, and they breed even better dogs when you outcross them. So that happened in China. They bring that I think they did outcross. I'm not sure about that. But from 10 puppies, they have 9 wins and 1 loss. 9 winners from 1 litter. That's a 90% of win or high percent on return. So that's always been work. But people forget about that. It's because people actually they they want the wow factor. It's all what they're looking for. They don't looking anymore for good dogs. That's what I think. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure.
Yeah, they're definitely social media is exacerbated that sort of thing for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. Yeah, you see a good-looking dog, but it doesn't do ever nothing. It could be have all genetic problems, and you see that dog who get 200 like, and you got is a dog who is very athletic, is working very good, and maybe that dog it have zero like. And likes in Facebook you can buy them. That's true, but people tends to go more with the good looking, what appears to them to be look good.
Hmm.
Because to me it doesn't look good.
Right. Well, I think we've covered a lot today. Is there anything that do you think we missed that
uh,
that you'd like to talk about?
I think we cover pretty much everything. Yeah.
Well, we're
The
gonna have to.
what you gonna do, the picture thing that you did last time? I like that stuff. I got new stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'll when I end the stream, I'll tell you what I'll do for sure. Um,
And that's something that I would like. I got a lot of new stuff from our last uh, uh, chat last time. I got a lot of new dogs, and they're pretty good.
good, good,
Actually, their eyes to in my eyes, they are even better now.
awesome. Yeah, definitely. People would love to see that.
Yeah, yes, on action.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end the stream, but stay on while I end the stream here. And
All
thanks
right.
everybody for joining and join
Thank
my
you, everybody.
Patreon to see to rewatch this and spread the word for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank